This is the F Club Radio Show with Ramona Prater, located at AM 1200 WCHB.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back to the F Club Radio Show on AM 1200 WCHB. We're talking about domestic violence and observance of Domestic Violence Month here in this country. In the metro area, lots and lots going on to deal with it, to identify it, to help you become a survivor if you're a victim. And not just survivor in words or even after you leave the situation, how to lose that victim mentality as well, how to go on with your life. In our F Fuel today, we talked about nothing like reminiscing about the past. And, you know, we all have past that we are triumphant about or happy to be away from, but we have to really focus on our future. So these ladies in the studio with us, our special guest, Brooke Blander, is in the studio. She is a domestic violence child survivor. That's it.
Survivor child.
Survivor child. Write that down for me. Also, B.G. Harris in the studio as well. She is a documentary film author and also a domestic violence survivor as well. Welcome, B.G.
Thank you.
Did I do your title right? You looked at me crazy. And
yes, no, it's fine.
Okay. She looked like over her glasses, like, what are you talking about? Amanda told me. Okay, LaShonda, let's take your call real quick, and then we're going to talk about some of the identifiers, and we're going to hear B.G.'s story as well. Let's see. LaShonda in Farmington. Hi, LaShonda.
Yes, I just wanted to ask your guests, what did they think of the movie Precious?
Oh.
And also, just real quick, The Burning Bed, and all the movies that deal with just the subject that you're talking about, but in particular, what were their thoughts on that movie? Because I would throw in Antoine Fisher's story, because it's so diverse. It's not just men beating women. It's so complicated. But Precious is the one I just would like to just get their opinion on that movie if they've seen it. I haven't seen it yet.
Thank you, LaShonda. I appreciate your call. No problem, sweetheart. Bye-bye. You guys seen the movie Precious? Or
Yes. I've seen the movie, and although my experience was nothing like what she had experienced, you know, as far as the sexual abuse, the specifics, things like that, that was never in my childhood. But to watch the hurt and the pain that she went through, if you're a survivor, each of us, we have different experience and different things that may have happened to us. But the one thing that we all have in common is that how we feel after the fact, and you feel horrible.
Yeah. So, Brooke?
I definitely watched the movie, and coming from the opposite direction, I did experience a lot of those things in my childhood. I experienced being sexually assaulted and molested, and like I said earlier, I'm a product of a rape. So I really applaud the story because I think it was very triumphant. You know, it didn't end with her falling into the same cycles that doing the same things that her mother did, which I think we need more movies like that show a good, happy ending, because it does happen.
Now, I didn't see Precious.
Okay.
Because I don't know what it be. I can't do anything too dark.
Gotcha.
I just can't do it. Some people can do that. And having not even been a part of that kind of relationship at all, but a different kind of domestic violence situation I had before, but it just didn't. This is a confession on my show. I can't watch a lot of sad stuff. I watch all happy movies. I try to watch happy because it affects me too much. Maybe I'm too emotional. That's probably what it is. So I would have left the theater crying and been sad for 3 days because I just can't. I can't take it. And when I read the background of what it was, I even interviewed Gabrielle Sibidi before on another show, and it was just I couldn't take it. So I can imagine having those feelings. Like you said, you're emotional. I'm very emotional, which is probably why I stay away from a lot of stuff. I just can't do it. But I understand that if it's something you've been through, that it breaks over those coals every time. And it's okay because it's there. And I think that it's bad that we suppress. I don't think we should suppress. We should try to talk about it. Definitely. Two things you guys talked about before I let BG share her specific story. The expression art. The art of expression. People who are survivors, if they get a hold of something that will help them express themselves. Now, Brooke is a poet. She's a poetess, and is that a correct word? We always say poetess. We make up words on the F Club radio show. And BG, you made a film, a documentary.
Yes, actually, it started out where I was going to write a book, and I started journaling and writing.
Journals as well. Yeah.
And as I was going through it, I thought, okay, how can I really, truly get this message out there and impact to let other survivors know that they're not the only ones, because for a long time, I literally thought I was the only one in this whole world that was being abused.
And maybe there's somebody
it was the
listening
isolation.
too that's thinking that
I really thought I was alone. And then growing up, for me, and I'm speaking for me and how I go through my healing, I grew up a very insecure child, okay, and just very afraid. And I think that was my core. And then growing up to be an insecure woman. Okay. My mom, she instilled in all of us, and thank God for her, because, yes, it was something that we witnessed in terms of my father and my mother, but it only happened the one time that I can recall as a child. And it's amazing when parents think that your children don't hear, or they don't see it, or they don't remember. They do. You know, they do remember. So it was something that I do recall seeing years ago. My mom and I, we have talked about this, and I do discuss this and talk about this in a documentary. And I think that just kind of left a really impression on me in terms of, I guess you can say, being traumatized over that experience. And then as I grew up, again, you think that this is something that's normal.
Wow.
You know, it's something that's normal.
But until, again, you guys talked about secrecy first, and then the lack of education, not knowing that if, you know, if this guy is making you feel isolated, you can't have any friends, or you're intimidated all the time, or you avoid certain topics because you don't want to anger somebody. Right. Then these are signs that you could be in an abusive relationship, even if they're not physically hitting you. They are, if you feel suppressed in any way, then there's an issue. Now, I'm not talking about there are a lot of us who have relationships, you know, this is not a good time to bring up this subject because it's not a good time. Right. That's different. Right. But I'm talking about just walking around in constant fear and, you know, and not even, you know, trembling fear. I just want to keep everything nice. I want to make everything
walking on eggshells.
Just walking on eggshells. I want to make everything just nice. So we would have peace and joy all day long today. It shouldn't be that kind of effort for peace and joy.
And that was me, Ramona. I always wanted to keep the peace. You know, didn't want to say anything that was going to kind of rattle any cages or anything like that. But it all goes back to, for me, it was building up my self-esteem. And there were days when I had all the confidence.
I got to stop here. You guys have to see BG. She's beautiful.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you.
I'm not kidding. She's beautiful. We have to take a picture of her, man, to put it on the website because nobody's going to believe this. She's beautiful. And I'm stopping here. And I didn't mention Brooke, because Brooke is beautiful, too. But let me tell you why I didn't mention Brooke. Because you said something that is shocking to me.
What's that?
Brooke doesn't have low self-esteem that I know of. She didn't tell me. But you said you have low self-esteem, and I'm thinking, you guys should see her. I know I need to repent. I'm coveting her hair. She has beautiful, thick hair. She's gorgeous. So how can a woman like you be insecure or have low self-esteem?
Again, I hit it very well, because when I go home, I was one way, but professionally, I exuded a lot of confidence.
I'm being facetious. I want people to understand that just because you're a supermodel and blah, 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 that doesn't mean that you have every piece in place emotionally.
Right.
And this is why I bring that up. I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm just saying you should see BG. BG is gorgeous. You would think by her looks, gosh. She's a supermodel. She's walking. She's confident. She's taking over the world. And you say you have esteem issues? Give me a break. There's no hope for any of us. Let's all just jump off the bell out.
Oh my gosh.
Good Lord. And I say this because another girlfriend of mine who's beautiful let this guy take $69,000 from her. I mean, she's beautiful. And I said, honey, you're gorgeous. She just, I said, are you sick? I couldn't believe it. So I'm making light of it only to say it doesn't mean you're cross-eyed, crippled, crazy, that you have low self-esteem. It could be something else. And if somebody else, a man especially, hooks onto that in you, it's dangerous. And this is the reason why you guys hear me say all the time, stand in the mirror naked. Tell yourself how gorgeous you are. I don't care how you look. Just keep telling until you believe it.
And I do that now.
And
I
isn't
do
that amazing?
That. And another thing that has truly helped me, it was prayer. Awesome. Constant prayer.
Yeah.
You know, developing my intimate relationship with God and realizing that I'm not going to say that, no, I don't need a man in my life. That I will never. That's something I'm not going to say.
Right. People stop saying that.
Right. That's something I'm not going to say, but it's the fact that being comfortable with being alone. And it's okay.
And Brooke said this on last hour, loving yourself first. Loving anybody else begins with loving yourself. Let me tell you why. Nobody should be completing you, saints and friends if you have any. You should be two whole people that make one person. Two wholes. Exactly.
Come to the table complete.
Come to the table complete. And then you got a great relationship. So that means if you drop off the face of the earth, I don't come unglued, and vice versa. You just come unglued when somebody leaves your life, there's a deficit. There's a me deficit. Honestly. And this is why we have these, I'm being facetious, but I'm saying work on yourself, work on yourself, love yourself first. If it sounds like cliche, we'll walk you through it. I'm going to tell you how to do it. Don't you even worry. I'm going to have a little, I write a little piece up. We'll put it on the website. How to start loving yourself. But I began, if you guys follow me at all, I do this monthly butt naked mirror check every single month. And trust me, it is no picnic to put your hands on the side of a full-length mirror and look at yourself for 5 minutes and don't turn away. I do this every month. It is gross and disgusting, but I do it every single month. Actually not. It's getting better and better. But what I'm saying is the first couple of minutes you're like in tears because you don't turn away. And then this kind of love comes on. And first you giggle and you laugh and you start shaking. And after a while, in 5 minutes, you either make peace with what you see or you change stuff you don't like, one or the other. And the more you do it until your image in your head matches the one that's in your eyes across in the mirror, you can't love yourself if you always covered up. Look at yourself only from neck to head. That's not who you are. People see you from this angle, Take some time to get to know who you are as a person. Read, study, appreciate art, because it will develop you as a person, not other people. When other people start making, if I just have a child, I'll be happy. If I just get these, Manolo Blahniks, I'm going to be happy. If I get this purse, I'll be happy. If he loves me, then I know I'm worth loving. Wrong attributes for love. Love should not hurt, and it certainly shouldn't cost us a thing. That's a good song, Janet Jackson. I think whoever sang that. No, even if you were broke, my love. That's J-Lo. My bad. Wrong artist. All right. Anyway, but I make light of this, guys, because this is something that we can do, and it's not impossible. If you find yourself in a situation where you're in low self-esteem or you don't even realize that you have low self-esteem, I want you to listen to BG's story real quickly, as much as you feel like sharing. Just tell us about how you got there and the day you woke up.